Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. This is Truck Guy Joe. On today's video, we're going to talk some more Silverado medium duty, and in this case, we're going to talk dump trucks. A dump truck is a tool. It's got to perform a certain task or a job, and there's a lot of different ways you can spec out these trucks. So depending on the use and what it's intended for, I've got you covered here. So let's take a look at some differences between the actual bed itself and how you actually raise the bed. Two very important specifications we talk about. What material is the bed going to be made out of, and how are we actually going to raise the bed, and how will it suit your needs for purchasing this truck? Maybe you're a concrete contractor, maybe a municipality, or a landscaper. Let's get into it. Let's take a look at this truck in particular. Brand new 2021 Silverado 5500, full drive, 19,500 GVWR, locking hubs, just a regular cab, 84-inch cab to axle. That's an 11-foot dump bed. It's made by Airflow. It's stainless steel. Also, those are stainless steel fenders over the rear wheels. And this truck applies to a lot of different trades. We got a lot of landscape contractors that'll buy these if they do snow removal in the winter. And obviously with a stainless steel bed, makes for a very nice winter of not worrying about your bed falling apart due to the salt, the brine. You don't have the corrosion issues. This bed is going to hold up under those harsh conditions, especially having a salt spreader in the back, driving on those roads and backing into your own salt that you're putting down, etc. Now, let's also talk about how the bed's operated. So we actually spec this truck for a government or a municipality. They like stainless steel beds, they like four-wheel drive, but also they like full hydraulics. So this is set up with hydraulic controls that come out of the back for running a spreader. So there's a hook up here and a hook up here. And you'll see some guys have a below tailgate stainless steel spreader, runs off hydraulic hoses that you basically dump the bed, sends the salt to the back, and there's a round hopper that'll throw the salt. So with the full hydraulics, you can have that kind of a setup, and also with the hydraulics, you can raise the bed much faster, and the bed can lift a lot of weight. Because let's face it, a lot of guys overload these, they get overweight, and with your standard electric over hydraulic hoist, it's hard to make that deadlift. Let's hop inside, take a look at the controls, and I'll show you how this PTO operated bed functions. This chassis was ordered with the factory auxiliary upfitter switches. So the body company has already run power to these. So you have your pump to control the actual PTO controls for running the bed. And with the pump also on, that'll allow you to run the salt spreader control. So right here's a buyer's products. This box will run that salt spreader if you want to have one below the tailgate. Also strobe lights and work lights as well for the spotlights. So let's start the truck up. And we're going to hit that button for the pump. And there's a very pronounced whine. You can hear that pump with engine RPM. And this controls the hoist right here. So you just press this button down, and even from an idle, we can raise that bed up. And the more throttle you give it, the faster it goes. So you can control how fast it goes up and down, not only by throttling the lever itself. So I can just hold the lever just a little bit, make it go slow, or I can speed it up just by pressing more on the lever, but as well, I can use the throttle using my foot to really make this thing raise up. So I can give it some RPM and then hit up, and that baby will really fly. Same with coming down. So that's your basic controls. You got your up and down, and I'll show you, like that dump truck has electric over hydraulic. You just got your simple hand controller remote with up and down buttons. Kind of the same function here, but with a lever. And also they give us lights to let us know that the pump is running and also that the body is up. And this truck, they removed the little jumper seat, and here's the power hookup and the USB hookups. They just moved them to here. So it's just one of the things they do for us on these municipal bid trucks is they take that jumper seat out because it's extremely rare. They got 3 guys in them. They just have yourself or maybe a passenger. Shut that pump back off, and then we'll take a look at some other dump truck options here. Let's take a look underneath the hood of this PTO driven hoist. So here's the auxiliary pump that's belt driven. This is a Muncie pump bolted to the engine, and this is what actually controls the fluid. So these hoses, they run back. Let's follow these back, and these hoses are what go underneath and power the hoist. And I'll show you, it's just a standard hoist that you see on a dump truck. The red dump truck that you can see through here, I'll show you the hoist, same thing. But basically, rather than the electric motor running the pump, you've got the pump on the engine, sends the fluid through. And this is your oil reservoir box right here. But just wanted to share that with you, that on this situation, it's bolted to the engine, and that switch controls this pump. Oh, we got some sirens coming here. We're going to shut it down for just a second. Also, keep in mind, the Allison transmissions also have PTO capability. So there also is the option to run a PTO pump off of the Allison transmission to run the bed. But the downside of doing that is you have to be stationary. You can't be moving. You have to be in park. And the parking brake has to be set. So that is the reason why you wouldn't want to necessarily run the dump bed off of the Allison transmission, because you can't be moving at all. And that could be a problem if you're pulling away from a pile or if you're trying to tailgate gravel, whatever the case may be. But this is a nice clean setup, clean installation. There's the underhood pump to run the hydraulics. Now let's take a look at a more basic electric over hydraulic setup. This setup is electric over hydraulic. So in this case, you've got your pump motor here with the reservoir, and this electric motor is what actually will control the fluid to move the hoist. So that dump truck right next to us with the PTO has the same subframe and hoist setup. It's just powered differently. But this one is just an electric motor, a solenoid here, and I'll show you the control and how this one operates. And it's basically, it's a fixed speed. It's a fixed speed up and a fixed speed down. Let's check that out. Here's the control for the electric over hydraulic hoist on this red dump truck. You just have a power up and a power down. And as you see, when I hit this button, it's very slow. It just kind of takes its time, very predictable, going up and then also back down. So in this case, you're relying on the power of that electric motor and pump to run that bed up and down. And as I mentioned, if you get a lot of weight to the front of the bed, sometimes it's hard to do that deadlift where the PTO, boy, that thing doesn't really struggle. But the flip side is cost. It's thousands of dollars more to go with the full hydraulics versus just the basic electric over hydraulic hoist. So for a lot of guys, this does do the job. A lot of my lawn care guys, they're okay with this. If you're just dumping some gravel, some mulch, whatever the case may be, they don't necessarily want the extra expense of going with the full hydraulics. Again, it just depends on exactly what your needs are or what you're used to or your ability to raise the bed, how fast and how slow. It just really is personal choice, and we can talk about the differences and the benefits of both, but ultimately we consult with the customer and let them make the decision on what setup is going to work best for them. As I mentioned in the beginning of this video, these trucks are purchased by companies because it's a tool. It's got to perform a certain job. So maybe you're going to be hauling gravel and dirt all day. That's what you're going to be doing, just constantly loading gravel and dirt, and you're going to be dumping. A steel bed will be just fine, especially a concrete company. A steel bed is going to hold up very well for all the banging and dropping, you know, putting a lot of busted up pieces of concrete, maybe even asphalt. And this is a 6500. So you've got a lot of payload for carrying, got a strong metal bed. Maybe you want the PTO hoist because you just want the durability and the quickness of going up and down all day long with that bed, up and down. So that PTO is a good durable option for lifting a lot of weight and doing it fast. So steel bed, construction guys, and also sometimes they want steel because they don't work in the wintertime. A concrete company is not going to be concerned about salt and rust and plowing snow. Landscapers, we got a couple different options. This truck applies to a landscape company because of the crossbox. I have a lot of guys that'll buy this because they want to carry trimmers, tools, whatever the case may be, and you've still got yourself a decent 9-foot dump bed. Move over to here, 11-foot stainless dump. This one's electric over hydraulic. It's not PTO, but again, could be a landscape company that does snow removal, plowing, and salting. Check this one out. 5500 with an aluminum dump with removable sides. This truck checks off a lot of boxes, can carry a lot of payload because of that lightweight aluminum bed. Flexibility, these sides come off, removable sides on both sides. So maybe you pull up to the nursery, you pull the sides off, they can load the nursery stock off on the side. If you don't want to do it from the back, or maybe have something in the back, maybe you have a trailer on. Got the trailer on, boom, they can handle it from the side, and one side can come out at a time, no problem. You got the cross box here, lots of room for tools, shovels, whatever the case may be. Maybe a rainstorm comes along, gotta take a quick break, you can pile in here and maybe even take a nap. Two items that get overlooked on a lot of trucks, even back here, would be your backup camera and even having a coal chute. This can go a long way just as far as if you got to wheelbarrow some items, whether it's topsoil, gravel, whatever the case may be. Basically, you can raise the bed up, have your material up against the gate, and you can just open up your little coal chute there and go ahead and work it in your wheelbarrow, power buggy, whatever the case may be. And you can do a chute on this side, that side, you can do 3 if you want, whatever the case may be. There's a lot of flexibility. But the camera is nice just for that extra peace of mind. Maybe there's a pole here, a car, a person, whatever the case may be. Backup camera adds a little peace of mind and can save you some money from insurance claims and damaging not necessarily this big beef of a truck, but maybe that little half-ton Chevy's in the way and you run that thing over, you're gonna have a problem. Thank you for your time today. Appreciate you sticking with me here and watching this video. I just wanted to give you kind of a walk around and some ideas and thoughts in regards to dump trucks. So depending on your trade or what you do, there's a lot of options to consider. Two-wheel drive or four-wheel drive, how much payload? Do you need a steel bed, stainless, or aluminum? What kind of hoist? PTO, electric over hydraulic. So a lot of things to consider, and I like to be a part of that process to consult with customers and help them build the right truck to do the job for them, so there's no would've, could've, should've once they take delivery and realize the truck isn't cutting it for them. So other than that, have a great day. We'll try to make some more videos as we can here, hopefully get some more inventory, but I hope you're all doing well. Take care, and we'll catch you on the next video. See ya.